Clarity Coalition, I think it has a really could have a big future globally, trying to speak about some of the subjects that I care about, being revealing what Islamists are doing on a global level and how it is not and will not ever be in line with what Western's values are, and the freedom of women, the freedom of speech, democracy, human rights. And I think we needed this, as people gathered around from all different organizations, voices, the diversity I really like, because I'm not a Muslim reformer, but I love having met so many Muslim reformers as somebody who's not religious myself. And just to see that they're fighting for the same thing, they're working and saying the same things just in another way, and that the diversity, I think, really is a strength for the Clarity Coalition. I used to be a member of a leftist party because that's just where I started my political career, you could say. And very soon it was hard to say anything against Islamists within my party. And I could just see there's no future for me there, so I had to move on. And I became an independent. I was a member of the City Council of Copenhagen. And I became independent, and it really hurt to see that I'm not a leftist anymore. But it hurts to see that on the left, the women's movement, LGBT rights and so on have always been important, but now because of mass immigration and the big Muslim minority in the West, there is such angst to talk about the issues of LGBT and women's freedom. Hijab, sometimes the headscarf of Muslim women are sometimes talked about that means freedom, this is their choice and so on, but it's gendered, it's against gender equality, it's gender, it's discrimination. Of women. It's not, men don't have to wear it. So it's really clear discrimination that we're not, talking about in the West, because, it's a minority and they're, we're called Islamophobes or racist if we try to talk about these issues. So I think it's very important that Clarity Coalition has both ex-Muslims as well as Muslim reformers and everything in between to point out these issues and analyze them and have really intelligent answers to what Islamists come with to the West, and Islamists have power, they have lobbied for years, so we have to do the same. We have to try to, I think people understand when we are telling them, they see the issues, but we have to make a bigger, we have to have more influence in the parliaments, on every level, really, so in the media as well. I think the women in Iran and the men in Iran, for that matter, Iranian people, the Iranian women, they just need us to be their voice at this time, because the government has decided to clamp down even more on the protesters. They're going to kill more people, and we really need to be their voice. And they kind of saved us. It's so weird to say, but just the fact that you can't call the Iranian women Islamophobes, right? You can call me in the West Islamophobic for saying the headscarf is not a sign of freedom. It's oppression of women, right? But when Iranian women who have been living under Sharia law and religious theocracy for 43 years, you cannot call them Islamophobes. So in a weird way, they're helping the Western world realize that this is their fight for freedom against religious oppression, and it becomes more authentic. I think that they help us, and we need to help them with we can be their voices in a time that where we really need to be, and we should pressure our countries, our politicians to sanction the Iranian regime. Not the whole country, but the regime and the Revolutionary Guard and people who are key persons around the regime to try to pressure the Iranian regime as much as possible. I've learned a lot. I think it's just, for me, it's so inspiring. I just took a photo of of Hamid Abdel Samed and the French imam and Atesh from Turkey, an imam from Turkey, a woman. It's just inspiring to see that people come together with different views, and really they're saying the same things. They're concerned about the same things, and it's just beautiful. I think it's historic almost. For me it is, actually, at least, yeah. So I'm really happy. I hope that Clarity Coalition can accomplish a lot of things, but I think, just coordinating some of the things that we are doing. I'm doing it in Danish, but if it's like, if we could coordinate it more, we could have a huger impact, because we're working separately but coming together. And if we can find a way to share our knowledge and work with each other in a way that can be easier for every person, every organization to do the same in other countries, in other languages, that would be a great thing, because it would be more impactful than me just trying to talk to the Danish politician, Danish media, right? If I had somewhere I could point to Clarity Coalition, we have this coalition that works with this on a professional level, and we have all of this evidence on this subject, then it becomes much easier for me and for everybody else who are doing the same things in every other country, So I really have high hopes for Clarity Coalition in the future.